We in here, man. The stream. The daytime stream, man. The daytime stream. I'm live, man. Viva, man. Viva, man. Viva, man. Viva. We are here, man. Everybody hit that like button, man. Everybody smash that like button, man. Yo. Rebecca Kaplan in the building. Yeah, man. Salute to everybody out here, man. Salute to all you guys, man. Last night, man, I was gonna go live last night, but I got in and I was pooped, man. I was pooped last night. A man hot black in the building. I was pooped last night, man. Pause. I was gonna go live, but I was like, oh man, I felt like I would have had a stream where I constantly fell asleep. And I don't want to give y'all a stream where I was constantly falling asleep. So I was like, I just do a live one during the day tomorrow, man. Shout out to my man, Big Time, Big Teasy in the building. Teasy. Let me put this over here. How about that? Yeah, we put this over here. We put this over here. Shout out to Big Teasy. Teasy for Sheezy. He says, Merry Xmas, salute. Please keep bringing the truth to YouTube. There's something wrong with his mind. There is something wrong with his mind. That is true. That's true. There is something very wrong. Intrinsically wrong with his mind, man. Let's see, man. Everybody hit that like button, man.
In Maryland right now. Take a look at this. This is a breaking news scene that we have. Police are investigating a shooting there, and it appears to be very, very active. This is a live picture. This is coming to us courtesy of WBFF there, the local.
So, News Now, which is a Fox subsidiary, Live Now, they cover these mass shootings in Blakistan, but MSNBC and CNN, they can't be bothered.
Station. And so.
You ask me, whoever did this is 10 times worse than Daniel Penny.
We just got on the scene there. You can see a lot of law enforcement, also fire on scene, responding to this. I want to put this tweet up here from the Baltimore County Police Department. This is what they say, that they're currently on the scene of a shooting in the area of Lock Raven Boulevard. They say, please stay out of the area, and they have an address for media staging area. And you can see there, let's take it back. You can see there a lot of these firefighters and emergency response officials kind of commiserating and gathering.
A bunch of white dudes, man, showing up on the scene of a black body strewn across the fucking pavement, bleeding out. Does anybody ever think about these first responders in these democratic cities where goddamn every friggin' time you respond to the scene of a crime, it's black people, don't nobody know nothing, and then you go home and you watch CNN or MSNBC and you hear about like some fan yelled the N-word at some game somewhere, or somebody microaggressed some black person on some college campus. And then you see this shit all day. How these people stay woke needs to be studied.
In some type of, I don't know, meeting of the minds. Maybe it's a planning meeting. Maybe they're getting their ducks in the row ahead of some type of press conference, possibly. But police investigating a shooting there.
Oh, this wasn't no mutual combatants, my man. This was not no mutual combatants, my man. I can't show the footage. I'm gonna put the link to the footage in the comment section, man. I'm gonna put the link to the footage in the comment section. Let me see. How about this? I'll retweet it, right? Dang. What the fuck? Yeah, it's not. It's not. This wasn't no mutual combatants, man. This was Negro combatants, man. This was Negro combatants, man. I'm gonna put the link to my X account in here. You can see I just retweeted it. So it's the first one you want to see. Go to my X account, man. I just put it, I just retweeted it on X. So just go to my X account, click the link, and you can see what happened. It wasn't mutual combat, it was savagery. It was an ambush. It was Negro savagery and ambushery, ambushing unsuspecting black people. It was an ambush of unsuspecting black people. They didn't see it coming. Big Time says an altercation broke out between two groups of juveniles. Words were exchanged, which then led to gunfire erupted. The solution is more programs. Yeah, man. That's exactly what happened, man. Everybody in fucking earshot gets shot, though. Everybody within a goddamn.
From WJZ, this is breaking news.
We come on the air continuing to follow those breaking developments out of Baltimore County tonight, where police say one person is dead, 9 others hospitalized in a mass shooting, drawing a massive response from county police, firefighters, and tonight federal agents combing through a scene that stretches along several blocks of Loch Raven Boulevard, right near a funeral home there. And this just into the WJZ newsroom at 11. Video from that doorbell camera near the scene giving a dramatic account tonight with a barrage of gunshots audible. And police confirm they are not sure how many shots were fired or how many shooters may have been involved. Welcome to the news at 11, everyone. I'm Rick Ritter. We have been following this story from the very beginning, streaming on CBS News Baltimore first. Then a little over an hour ago, we have learned that shooting in Towson was targeted. And while police say there is no threat to the community tonight, they also say no arrests have been made. We do have live team coverage at that scene tonight. Casey Baller on your corner. She has reaction from neighbors in the area. But let's begin with Kelsey Kushner. Kelsey, you're one of the first reporters on scene. And what are you seeing right now?
Yes, she's related to that Jared Kushner. She's related to Jared Kushner. Somehow she's related to him. Salute to not Jimmy Stewart, man. He says, love you, Ox. Salute to not Jimmy Stewart, man. Not Jimmy Stewart, man. It's not him.
Rick, well, police are calling this a targeted shooting. Investigators say they're still trying to figure out what exactly happened here tonight, but they do know that there was some type of massive shootout that led to a fiery car crash outside of a local funeral home. We know that.
So you got a massive shootout, a fiery car crash, all these resources poured into the scene. First responders, fire, paramedics, firemen, cops, detectives, news, and don't nobody know shit a whole fucking day later. Yo, we the best at keeping secrets, man. All this and don't nobody know shit a day later, not a fucking thing.
That 10 victims were involved, 9 of them transported to a nearby hospital. One person has been confirmed dead, but still no word on who did this.
It appears to be a mass shooting incident.
A mass shooting in Towson Tuesday night, killing one person.
You think?
And sending 9 others to the hospital. Baltimore County Police say they were flooded with community calls around 7 o'clock for a shootout in the area of Loch Raven Boulevard and White Oak Ave. When officers arrived on scene, they found a car flipped on its side, engulfed in flames outside the Johnson Funeral Home, and a slew of shell casings.
At this time, we're still investigating that and trying to determine those circumstances. What we do know is that the vehicle appeared to flip over at that location. It caught fire somehow. We do know.
The only thing they know is what they can see with their plain eyes. We can't tell you that the vehicle flipped over. Well, no shit. There's a vehicle sitting right there flipped over. Has anybody from this great community of great people that, just wonderful black people that just they trying so hard, but the white man just keeping them down. But they resilient. Anybody from this resilient, wonderful community, man? Has anybody cooperated with you?
That there's multiple gunshots to the facade of the building. We know that there's some additional scenes that we're investigating right now where other gunfire took place.
ATF agents and firefighters flooded the area to assist with the massive response.
First, she's on the scene, mitigated.
So the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, also responded. This is just shit. Listen, this is shit that will happen tomorrow. There'll be another shooting tomorrow in this same area before they even solve this one. And think about it. The ATF had to get involved. What privilege these niggas have. The FBI is, the DOJ is always, you call one of these fucking niggas a name and the Department of Justice is going to be on your ass. If somebody find a noose anywhere in the continental United States, the FBI is going to send 50 agents over there to investigate it. A bunch of little pickaninnies have an argument in the shootout in a fucking hood and a goddamn ATF shows up. Who has the fucking privilege?
Fire, and of course, now we have victims on the scene, and they render treatment as appropriate.
Investigators are calling this a targeted shooting, reassuring the public.
Yeah, there's no danger to the public because the niggas was trying to shoot at some other niggas. But they hit a lot of people who wasn't involved. So there is a danger to the public because it's not over. So the fact that we haven't found anybody, no one from the communities cooperating, multiple people who had nothing to do with the incident were shot, there's guaranteed to be a retaliation from some other brain dead niggas that's going to be shooting in the crowds as well and hitting people who have nothing to do with it. So technically, there is a threat to the public. Press 1. Salute to my man, Main TV, man. Shout out to Cousin Drew, man. Cousin Drew in the building. 14 months. That's a long time. 14 months.
Public, there is no threat to the community.
This is an incident that is shocking, particularly for those of us in Baltimore County. These types of incidents are unheard of here, and so it really shows.
That's a fucking lie. We've been chronicling Towson for a long time. It was unheard of here 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but since 2020, we've been chronicling Towson, a suburb of Baltimore in Baltimore County. Niggas have been acting like niggas out there. It's been crazy out there the last 4 or 5 years since the pandemic, man. Since St. Floyd, man, it's been crazy in this little small suburb, man, affluent suburb. And almost everybody doing it is from Baltimore.
Shocks the conscience.
But with 9 people recovering in the hospital and no leads on a suspect, police say they will work until whoever did this is behind.
9 people recovering in the hospital, no leads on the suspect.
Hospital and no leads on a suspect. Police say they will work until whoever did this is behind bars.
We will leave no stone unturned, and we will dedicate every resource to this.
Only problem with that, they can't dedicate every resource. There's a shooting, there's multiple shootings every day in this area. How can you dedicate every resource to take a typical black city. Now, you take a typical white city, and I'm talking about a white city, because it got to be all white for it to be white. If it's 10% niggas, it's a black city. So take a white city, right? 2-3 homicides a year. Something like this happens, big like this happens. You can devote all resources to that event. But you got a black city, we got 300-400 homicides this year. Another 2,000 non-fatal shootings, 900 carjackings. And then something like this happens, you cannot devote all your resources to this. Press 1.
It's on a suspect. Police say they will work until whoever did this is behind bars.
We will leave no stone unturned, and we will dedicate every resource to this.
Still a lot of unanswered questions. Police, though, were able to confirm that there was not a funeral happening at the time of this incident. They say they are still trying to figure out who exactly was injured by gunfire and who was injured in the crash. Out of those 9 victims that were taken to the hospital, they said they are still searching the area for surveillance video to try to track down the suspect or suspects involved. Reporting live tonight, Kelsey Kushner for WJC.
That investigation that is just getting started. Kelsey, thank you. Our team coverage continues now with Casey Baller. And Casey, you spoke with a business right along the road where this scene played out tonight. What are they telling you?
Yeah, Rick, several business owners we spoke to tonight, actually, and many of them not interested in talking on camera, but they did tell us that this is a very uncommon scene to see here on Lock Haven Road. Take a look behind me. You can see right now what's roped off is a funeral home, I should say, on Lock Haven. And if you zoom in closely,
it's Lock Raven, sister. Lock Raven. It's right there. Lock Raven. It's not Lock Haven. Lock Raven.
Is a funeral home, I should say, on Lock Haven. And if you zoom in closely, you can see that vehicle that crashed. You can see fragments of that vehicle right on the lawn of that funeral home. Now, again, multiple businesses sit on this street, and they say they heard a loud boom around 7 tonight. They even got calls from friends about a car on fire. Not long after, they saw several officers and firefighters block off the road to really assess the situation here. Now, what seems to be roped off again is the Johnson Fosbrink Funeral Home. An employee there told us off camera there's visible damage to the siding of the building. And again, you can see a vehicle on its side. But she also told me that this business closed up around 4 this afternoon. When she heard about the shooting, she raced back over here to see what happened. She wasn't the only one here, though, questioning what was going on at this scene. Here's what a nearby neighbor had to say.
We live right up the street. Because I was at work, so I ain't here. My wife called me and said, "Hey, be careful. There's a bunch of police and everything." I'm like, "That's crazy. Like nothing like that. That's a rarity to happen around here. We've been living here for over a year, so it's definitely troubling to hear."
He's been living there for over a year. Uh-oh. So even, let's just say this guy's a dynamite guy. He's a swell guy. He's working, right? He's coming from work. He got a wife. He's a married working man. It still is a canary in the coal mine for your community. When you start seeing niggas that look like this and niggas that look like me in your community. If you live in an all white, all Asian, all Spanish, or whatever, all non-black neighborhood, and you start seeing niggas that look like this and niggas that look like me, that's a canary in the coal mine. Because we might be married working Negroes, but we got cousins and little nephews and shit. And we spread the word. Ooh, it's nice over there. They got houses for cheap too over there. Oh, you get an apartment. They got a townhouse around the corner. There's apartment, low income houses down the street. We start telling them, spreading the word, and bringing more niggas around. Salute to the big time. He said these Be More Sun men heard about the glider girl at the white Christian school and said, "Hold my blunt." Yikes. Facts, man. He said, "Yo, Ak, did you see the Sun man who was in Japan and filmed himself stealing food from a store and posted it on Instagram making fun of the lack of security?" Nah, send that to me, man. Send that to me. AkatundeLive2@gmail.com, man. Send that to me, man. We know that they've been acting up in Japan lately. We've been seeing the videos, the dancing and on the train, getting in people's personal space. We seen all that stuff, but I didn't see this latest one, man. They're going to push it, man, and they're going to keep pushing it. And listen, the Japanese might fold. The Japanese might fold. They not Chinese, they're Japanese. The Chinese ain't going for it, but the Japanese might fold and let the niggas in.
And for many residents living here, it's a quite unsettling scene. And as you would imagine, several of them have several questions about what happened here and why. When it comes to the funeral home, the employee here tells me that managers plan to be here early tomorrow morning. And the biggest question for them is if they can open up the business. For now, reporting live on your corner, I'm Casey Baylor for WJZ.
Here go the update.
The area of White Oak and Lock Raven Boulevard. That's the 8500 block of Lock Raven Boulevard, that area. Simultaneously, there were also calls regarding a car on fire, which resulted in the fire. People suffered from gunshot wounds, and it's an ongoing investigation. Officers and our other detectives, department's top priority.
Take care of our members, our personnel, because this type of scene not only affects our community, which our heart goes out to, but it affects.
So all these black people in power, man. All these black people in power.
It's our personnel. So our local Chick-fil-A, they stayed open. So I want to say thank you to them because
I want to see the white man. Give me a white man up here, man. Come on, white man. Straighten this shit out.
I'll first begin just by echoing my appreciation to the men and women of our fire and police departments for the incredible work that they have done and continue to do under the direction and leadership of Chief McCullough and Chief Dixon. We know that some of our first responders have been working literally around the clock on this case, and I want to assure the public what the chief has said, what Chief McCullough has said, that we are fully committed to ensuring that we bring those who committed this act to justice. I have every confidence in the ability of the men and women of the police department to do just that. And so in addition to myself, both chiefs, County Administrative Officer Walker, our partners in state government who've been acknowledged, as well as our partners in local government, like Councilman Mike Hertel, who joined us last night, and Councilman Julian Jones, who's with us today. We will provide any and all resources to address the situation, to support those who are working tirelessly to bring justice to those who committed these acts, and to make sure that our community both.
That's as loud as I can get it, man.
They're working to track down that type of information right now.
From WJZ, this.
They don't know anything. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. They don't know anything.
Well, a 15-year-old charged with murdering another teenager will.
Let's move on, man. We'll get back to that, man, if we get any information, man. Let's move on to some other stuff, man.
Well, a 15-year-old charged with murdering another teenager will not be getting out of jail anytime soon because a judge ordered Jameer Moore to be held without bond today. This comes a week after he escaped custody and spent a day on the run. Let's bring in Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer in our newsroom watching this. Hi there, Aaron. I know the state attorney spoke after the hearing. What'd she say about this?
Mark, State Attorney Susie Lopez says keeping Jameer Moore locked up until his trial is just another step toward justice for Javario Bowie's family.
I'll grant the state's motion for pretrial detention on the charge of murder in the first degree premeditated.
Jameer Moore won't be getting out of jail anytime soon. A judge ordered the 15-year-old to stay behind bars at least until his trial, which is where he belongs, according to Hillsborough State Attorney Susie Lopez.
He'll be housed in the Hillsborough County Jail, and so he will not have an opportunity or the ability to escape because we need to keep the community safe. And so
last week, Moore did escape custody 4 days after Tampa police charged him with murdering 14-year-old Javario Bowie. Surveillance video showed Moore running away from the Hillsborough Juvenile Detention Center. Police caught him almost 11 hours later.
That's absolutely terrifying that someone who is alleged to have killed someone in cold blood was able to escape, and he was out on the run, but TPD.
Terrifying is exactly how Javario's family described that day.
There was a sense of calm that happened after he was in custody, but that was quickly eroded once we found out that he had escaped.
Moore is accused of murdering Javario in April. Detectives say security camera video released in May shows Javario, Moore, and a third person walking near Bush Boulevard minutes before the shooting. Investigators haven't revealed a suspected motive. Lopez says this crime and Moore's escape are reasons to keep him off the streets.
It took 231 days from the date that Javario was killed to the date of Mr. Moore's arrest. TPD worked tirelessly to get justice for Javario's family, and we've got
The Ellis County Sheriff's Office is mourning a detention officer who was murdered on the job. I'm Clarice Tinsley. Officer Isaiah Bias was killed while putting an inmate in his cell Monday afternoon. Sheriff Norman calls it pure evil. Fox 4 Stephen Dial is live in Ellis County.
Damn, man. Damn glider, man. Got caught slipping by the sun, man. Probably put people in his cells 1,000 times. This one time the sun man caught him slipping. Turned the tables on him. Shout out to Cousin Drew. He said, cold one beer on me. Hot Black in the building says, thanks for another fantastic content. Salute. Hot Black.
Stephen Dial is live in Ellis County. Stephen.
Sheriff Norman told reporters that he was limited in what he could say about how his officer was killed, but we just got our hands on some court documents, who in the court documents say that Thompson allegedly punched, kicked, and choked the officer and then went back to sit down as if nothing happened.
Occasionally, we deal with bad folks. I can honestly...
At a jail occasionally? Are you seriously? Did he just say occasionally? Let me find out Texas is going woke.
I can honestly say that my staff over the last day has dealt with pure evil.
That is how Ellis County Sheriff Brad Norman described the inmate charged with murdering detention officer Isaiah Bias. Sheriff Norman said that he could only provide limited information about the attack, now under investigation by the Texas Rangers.
He was physically assaulted by an inmate in a cell area in a inmate holding facility while the officer was doing his daily job.
Investigators say Aaron Thompson was booked into the jail last month on three counts of assaulting a public servant. Sheriff Norman told us Thompson was in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. According to an arrest warrant affidavit, while Bias was looking for Thompson to bring him back to his cell, Thompson punched and kicked Bias in the head. He also choked him from behind. Documents say Thompson then went
rear naked chokehold.
Went to a table and sat down.
He loved what he did. He loved the people he worked with, and everybody around him loved him. Law enforcement, in some capacity, was definitely a career choice that he made and he loved.
Bias was 28 years old. Sheriff Norman said he met him when he was a teen in the Explorer program.
He wanted to be in law enforcement, and he came into work for the jail. You can come to work in the jail at 18, where you can't be a peace officer in Texas until you're 21.
Bias left the sheriff's office to get a degree from Navarro College. He came back and was promoted to corporal in detention services in 2022. As the oldest sibling in his family, Bias had just become an uncle a week earlier.
A very family-oriented person. His sister.
This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News.
Just after midnight, Indiana prison officials carried out the state's first execution in 15 years. Joseph Corcoran.
Could you imagine if their first execution in 15 years was a Negro? This would be all over the news. This would be MSNBC, CNN. Y'all lucky y'all first execution in 15 years was a white boy. Nobody gives a shit.
On WGN Midday News.
Just after midnight, Indiana prison officials carried out the state's first execution in 15 years. Joseph Corcoran was convicted of the 1997 murders of his brother, sister's fiance, and 2 others. Hello again, everyone. I'm Patrick Elwood.
And I'm Lourdes Duarte in for Dina Bair today. Thank you for joining us. Let's go to WGN's Eric Rung. He has the latest from Michigan City.
He got to live from 1999 till now. I can't even remember what I was doing in 1999. That shit was so long ago. The days are fuzzy. I could probably meet somebody I used to hang out with 1999 loosely and not even remember them. Yeah, this fucker got to live for 25 years after killing 4 people.
Yes, let's go to WGN's Eric Rung. He has the latest from Michigan City, where the execution took place.
They need to stop calling this shit executions. You let a motherfucker live for 25 years, and then you fucking put him to sleep with some fucking laughing juice and shit. And they kill you in the most humane way ever. The fucking steak you ate, the chicken you ate, died a worse death than this motherfucker, and they didn't do shit.
The long pause in executions here in the state of Indiana was due to the fact that the state just couldn't get their hands on the medication used for lethal injections. Prison officials say.
Did you hear that? Do you hear this bullshit? Listen to this bullshit.
On the medication used for lethal injection. The state of Indiana was due to the fact. The long pause in executions here in the state of Indiana was due to the fact that the state just couldn't get their hands on the medication used for lethal injections. The long pause in executions here in the state of Indiana was due to the fact that the state just couldn't get their hands on the medication used for lethal injections. Prison officials. The long pause in executions here in the state of Indiana was due to the fact that the state just couldn't get their hands on the medication used for lethal injections. Prison officials say.
We can't kill it. That's horse shit. That's horse shit. That is horse shit. Oh man, we got all these violent criminals, man. We need to execute. Damn, tisk. We just can't get any of that fucking medication used to kill them. Black people are finding nooses every time you turn around, some black person to find a noose somewhere. Why you don't go find a black person and get them to fucking lead you to a noose so you can fucking kill some of these people? It ain't that fucking hard.
Pause in executions here in the state of Indiana was due to the fact that the state just couldn't get their hands on the medication used for lethal injections. Prison officials say the 49-year-old had Ben & Jerry's ice cream for his last meal, and when asked if he had any final words, he said, "Not really. Let's get this over with." After spending close to 25 years on Indiana's death row, Joseph Corcoran died by lethal injection around 12:45 this morning, making him the first inmate to be executed by the state in 15 years.
Joe's case has never been fully examined because he waived state post-conviction. So I think
this white bitch is trying to get him free. She's pissed. You always got some stupid ass white bitch that's mad that some fucking psychopath got fucking what he deserved, whether it was a prison sentence or the death penalty. She would have been mad. She was mad he was in jail. She was mad he was in solitary confinement. She was mad about everything.
Waived state post-conviction. So I think it is an injustice to execute him.
Those against the death penalty, as well as Corcoran's family, argued a psychologist diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. He was convicted of killing his brother, sister's fiance, and 2 others back in
So if he has paranoid schizophrenia and that's the reason he did it, every single person with paranoid schizophrenia needs to be locked up right now. Because being a paranoid schizophrenic makes you kill 4 people. If that's the direct result, if every paranoid schizophrenic is going to kill 4 people, we need to get all of them people locked up right now.
1997 in Fort Wayne after he heard them talking about him.
I'm just thankful for all the public.
After he heard 2 others back in 1997 in Fort Wayne after he heard them talking about him.
I'm just thankful for all the public stepping out and just supporting him, supporting the cause, and people realize
this fucktard had a wife. This is his wife. This fucktard had a wife. And you got fucking incels out here on the street that can't fucking find a woman to save their life. This fucktard on fucking death row for 25 years had a wife. And I guarantee you he met her behind bars.
He was convicted of killing his brother, sister's fiance, and 2 others back in 1997 in Fort Wayne after he heard them talking about him.
I'm just thankful for all the public stepping out and just supporting him, supporting the cause, and people realizing that, mental illness is real.
Tahina Corcoran says that she and Joseph were married. She made the trip to the Indiana State Prison in Michigan City yesterday to say goodbye.
He's in shock. He doesn't understand.
She and other supporters were hoping the governor would step in and stop the execution, or at least put it on pause until a state bill repealing the death penalty was considered.
Well, one thing that I found very striking about Mr. Corcoran's execution is the fact that the prosecutor who initially sought his death sentence has now said he would not make the same decision today.
The governor is...
Oh, fucking God. White women, listen, I do a poll, man. Pause, man. Who's worse, white women or black women? Jesus Christ, man. Who's worse, man? Jesus Christ, man. Jeez. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yo.
Well, one thing that I found very striking about Mr. Corcoran's execution is the fact that the prosecutor who initially sought his death sentence has now said he would not make the same decision today.
The governor issued a statement after the execution saying his case was reviewed more than 25 times and was never overturned.
I've been very transparent about
that fucktard got to have his case reviewed 25 times. If in any one of those 25 times some fucking woke asshole would have fucking overturned it, that fucker might be on the streets right now. This is the criminal justice system you gliders have created.
Said he would not make the same decision today.
The governor issued a statement after the execution saying his case was reviewed more than 25 times and was never overturned.
I've been very transparent about my position on capital punishment as a form of justice. So that hasn't changed. I have supported it publicly.
Right now, there are currently 7 other people on Indiana's death row.
Please don't let none of them be black, because if one of them black, then they gonna fucking probably make a big fuss about it. We're going to hear about it all over the fucking national news.
And it appears, at least for now, that no execution dates have been set for those inmates. We're in Michigan City, Indiana. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
He was a hero that night. He was a hero that night, and now he's our angel.
A family asking a judge to give the maximum penalty to the shooter who killed a young man, and that man dying while protecting his girlfriend from gunfire. Thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. The shooting was part of a crime spree that left a 22-year-old man dead. Several other shooting victims did survive.
And today, one of 3 defendants learned that he will spend at least 100 years in prison, likely for the rest of his life. 8 News Now investigator David Charnes was in the courtroom.
I take full responsibility of my own wrongdoings and appreciate the courts for administrating justice.
32-year-old Christopher McDonald apologizes for taking part in a crime spree on Thanksgiving 2020 that killed 22-year-old Kevin Mendiola Jr., the young man at this Henderson 7-Eleven with his brother and girlfriend when police say McDonald and his brother randomly opened fire. The pair then continuing their spree into Arizona before getting into a shootout with police.
I don't think I've ever seen a crime that's terrorized our community the way that this crime has terrorized our community.
In the car with Mendiola that night, Jade Libby, who survived the shooting because Mendiola quickly used his body to shield her.
He did the most heroic thing one could ever do. He saved me, and I'll never know why.
McDonald pleading guilty but mentally ill to charges including murder, a murder that several of Mendiola's family members told Judge Tierra Jones will affect them every.
Tierra Jones. If this was a brother, man, Tierra would have gave him 15 years. 5 years of supervised detention after he's released, man. She gave this white boy 100 years, man. Racist sister.
Tierra Jones will affect them every Thanksgiving, every day, for the rest of their lives.
The hurt, the pain, the guilt, and the stress that these 3 individuals put on my family, our lives will never be the same after this.
I struggle every day with my own life, knowing I have to live without him in our lives.
Before she handed down her sentence of 100 years to life, Jones agreed there would be no winners walking out of her courtroom.
What can the court do to ensure that there's not going to be other victims and there's not going to be someone else who has to suffer the loss of all the people that I've heard from today?
McDonald's brother, 34-year-old Sean McDonald, and Sean McDonald's now ex-wife, 29-year-old Kaylee Lewis, are awaiting trial on similar charges. A trial for Sean McDonald was scheduled for next fall. Lewis's case appears to be headed towards sentencing after a closed hearing Friday, though it's unclear why. I'm David Charnes, 8 News Now.
She cooperated. She gonna get like 20 years.
Local now.
We have an update now to a child abuse case the 8 News Now investigators first told you about. Thanks for staying with us here at 4:30. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Kirsten Joyce. A father facing serious allegations, including placing some of his kids in dog cages. The judge now finding him competent for the case to move forward. 8 News Now investigator Vanessa Murphy reports from the Regional Justice Center in downtown Las Vegas.
Now Travis Doss will likely have his day in court as he's accused of severely abusing his children. And one of the key pieces of evidence in this case is video, which is extremely difficult to watch. Here, Metro Police rescuing 6 children as 2 of them are in a dog cage in June of 2023. The 8 News Now investigators first obtaining this video, and a grand jury watched the video and indicted Doss on multiple charges.
We need more black fathers in the home, man. Listen, man. It be stressful, man, sometimes dealing with them kids, man. But you can't put them in a cage, brother. And if you put him in a cage, man, what else are you doing to him, man? But if you ain't got kids, you can't judge this guy. Don't judge him unless you got kids, man.
Video and indicted Doss on multiple charges, including 38 counts of child abuse. Then the criminal case against him was at somewhat of a standstill after Clark County District Court Judge Christy Craig found Doss incompetent, meaning
That's right, white lady. White lady was gonna let him off, man. The white lady was gonna let him off, man. I wonder who overturned her ruling, man. Shout out to the white women, man. Y'all be nice to the white women on that poll, man. Pause, man. This was something of me pretty good, man. Don't judge this brother unless you got kids.
And still, after Clark County District Court Judge Christy Craig found Doss incompetent, meaning unable to understand the charges against him and assist his attorneys in his defense. Court records show he went to a behavioral health facility. Craig then referring to evaluations from 3 doctors in court Friday and finding Doss now competent to move forward in his criminal case. Before his arrest, Doss tried to be a rapper under the name Trap Montana. He's expected to be back in court December.
He was a rapper under the name Trap Montana, man. How the fuck do you... And listen, his rap career is not over. If he gets out, he can still go to the BET Awards. He can still move in black circles. Press 1. He can still move in black circles. He will not be radioactive. If he beats, especially if he beats it, but if he do some time, if he do some time, Trap Montana, man, the Trap Montana do some time and come home for this shit. Yo, he can move in black Hollywood, black music industry spaces. He can get a deal. He can have a hit song on the radio played during drive time. Trap Montana. I got his song, man. Let's see what he was rapping about, man. Only channel you gonna hear Trap Montana, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Support the channel, PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Salute to everybody out there. Daytime stream, man. Hit the like button. It's very important to hit that like button, man, so we can get back in the algorithm, man. Back in the algo, man. I might have to, man. Trap Montana, y'all. That nigga ain't radioactive. That nigga show up here. That nigga get out. And if he got a hit song, niggas is playing that shit. That shit getting played. Okay? That shit is getting played. If he gets, the sky's the limit for this guy. There's nothing oh shit. Trap Montana, y'all.
Well, smoking on. Hey, what I'm smoking on. You know what the fuck I got? Oh, 3-5 in the goddamn blood, man. That whole 3-5 and that shit, man. Ain't no pressure on that shit. Yeah. Chop my tongue. Chop.
You know I'm smoking on the side, it ain't that good, man. You know I'm throwing a lot of racks, get them big, man. You know I'm all about them hundreds in my bitch bag. Don't make me pull up with them colors, they gon' bust, man. You know I'm smoking on the side, it ain't that good, man. You know I'm throwing a lot of racks, get them big, man. You know I'm all about them hundreds in my bitch bag. Don't make me pull up with them colors, they gon' bust, man. Everywhere I go, I keep me a strap. Everywhere I go, nigga yellow trap. Callin' about your hoe, you can't get her back. And I ain't having shit, but you know where I'm at. I ain't hiding it. I'm the type of nigga pull up, I slide nigga. I pop out with the hand like rocket hits you. And I ain't going back and forth cause I ain't gossiping with you. I don't talk to nigga. I got it out the mud. That's why I came up thug. I never ever handouts. I came up, now I'm a man now. You know I'm smoking on the side, it ain't that good, man. You know I'm throwing a lot of racks, get them big bang. You know I'm all about them hundreds in my bitch bag. Don't make me pull up with them colors, they gon' bust, man. You know I'm smoking on the side, it ain't that good, man. You know I'm throwing a lot of racks, get them big bang. You know I'm all about them hundreds in my bitch bag. Don't make me pull up with them colors, they gon' bust, man.
I can't tell the difference between that and all the shit I hear on the radio. It's the same, man. He's got a bright future when he gets out. Salute to Louis Barrow. He says, how will Luigi Mangione do in prison around the worst of the worst? He comes from a rich family. Will some men extort him? Yes. He will be extorted, but he might get extorted. If he's where he's going to a big house. He's not going to like just regular jail. He's going to probably a federal penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be in a place where there's all types of gangs. There's white nationalist gangs. There's Peckerwoods and shit. So he may be able to join them. Join a white nationalist gang, and they'll extort him too, but at least he won't have to get, fleeced in the booty by some goddamn Southern man with a goddamn 29-inch banana clip hanging from his waist.
Records show he went to a behavioral health facility. Craig then referring to evaluations from 3 doctors in court Friday and finding Doss now competent to move forward in his criminal case. Before his arrest, Doss tried to be a rapper under the name Trap Montana. He's expected to be back in court December 19th. Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
Doss's wife, Amanda Stamper, is serving time in prison after pleading guilty to 3 child abuse-related charges. She told the 8 News Now investigators Doss abused her. She's identified as a victim in a sex trafficking case against him.
Also, the white baby mother, is she in prison?
Well, right now it's 6. A Columbus man is facing multiple charges of rape and sexual battery spanning almost a decade. Tonight, that man, Darren Hughes, is out on bond. Today, one of his alleged victims sat down with Crime Tracker 10's Lacey Crisp, and it's a story you'll only see on 10 TV.
Brigitte Lover tells me every aspect of her life has been impacted by the rape. She says while she's glad her alleged assailant is finally facing justice, she wishes he were being held behind bars.
I immediately thought that this man has been doing this to other women and that someone needs to stop him. Someone at least needs to let people know that he's violent.
Brigitte Lover tells me she wants us to show her face and words so that other women can get justice. She says in October of 2022, she went out for drinks when she met a man she has identified as Darren Hughes.
I was just dancing. Then he came and approached me, asked me if I wanted him to buy me a drink. Initially, I declined.
Whatever.
He still kept pursuing.
She says she finally did have a drink with him. Then the night gets blurry.
Next thing I remember, I woke up in the parking lot the next morning. I only had one shoe. My shirt was down to my waist. I had no bottoms. And I was screaming.
OSU police found her and took her to the hospital to get a rape exam. Charges were filed. She says she knew right away this wasn't his first time assaulting a woman, so she took to Facebook and wrote a post warning other women.
So
let's read her post, man. Please share. This man raped me and left me for dead this past weekend. He is a serial rapist, and the police are looking into him for other sex crimes here in Columbus, Ohio. Please be aware and please share his information, as he is still out here on the streets, being able to prey on vulnerable women. For your information, he is currently being investigated, and if any women have anything that could help solidify my case or any of the other women that he's assaulted case, please contact the detectives on my case. Look how they act when the crime is against them. And look how they act when it's a mass shooting in their fucking front yard. Look how they act when there's a mountain of crime, shootings and carjackings all throughout the neighborhood community. Everybody know who did it. They never make these posts when that happens, but let them get slipped to Mickey and there's fucking everybody cooperate with the police. Press 1. Update. I just wanted to update. My posts helped find a victim as far back as 2015. With all the evidence from this post and women who came forward, they were able to connect the cases. My rape kit doesn't come back possibly till August, but there's enough evidence that they were able to get a DNA sample, and it's looking positively towards charging him even before my DNA come back. Thank you to everyone who helped and shared the post and their experiences. Another update. I am victim number 5 of 5 so far that have DNA attached. My rape kit came back positive for his DNA with 4 other women as well. He's a serial predator. Beware. His name is Baron Hughes.
Get a rape exam. Charges were filed. She says she knew right away this wasn't his first time assaulting a woman, so she took to Facebook and wrote a post warning other women.
So now, including myself, there are 4 other women as well who have been sexually assaulted by him.
In total, 5 victims have claimed Hughes raped or sexually assaulted them. Officers arrested Hughes, and he's been arraigned on the 7 charges. Judge Andy Miller continued a $25,000 appearance bond that Hughes had already posted, meaning he's out of jail on a GPS ankle monitor. I asked Judge Miller why a higher bond wasn't set.
Some may be concerned that this would be considered a low bond. Why was the bond set at $25,000 appearance bond?
Well, I can't discuss specific cases and reasoning specific, but generally the goal with a bond is to set it as low as possible while protecting the state's interests and having the defendant return to court and in protecting the public.
Miller has ordered Hughes not to go to bars or liquor establishments.
Yo, this shit funny.
Ankle monitor. I asked charges. Judge Andy Miller continued a $25,000 appearance bond that Hughes had already posted, meaning he's out of jail on a GPS ankle monitor. I asked Judge Miller why a higher bond wasn't set.
Some may be concerned that this would be considered a low bond. Why was the bond set at $25,000 appearance bond?
Well, I can't discuss specific cases and reasoning specific, but generally the goal with a bond is to set it as low as possible while protecting the state's interests and having the defendant return to court and in protecting the public.
Miller has ordered Hughes not to go to bars or liquor establishments.
Well, at least he ordered him to not to go to any bars. That was give the judge a break. Hey, Baron, don't go to any more bars, man. All right. Promise. Okay. He promised y'all, hey, everybody in Columbus, man, it's okay. Barron has promised not to go to any bars. So, because I thought, you know what I thought he was going to say? I thought he was going to say, no, hell no. And then it would have been like, damn. But he's promised not to go to any bars.
Bond that Hughes had already posted, meaning he's out of jail on a GPS ankle monitor. I asked Judge Miller why a higher bond wasn't set.
Some may be concerned that this would be considered a low bond. Why was the bond set at $25,000 appearance bond?
Well, I can't discuss specific cases and reasoning specific, but generally the goal with a bond is to set it as low as possible while protecting the state's interests and having the defendant return to court and in protecting the public.
Miller has ordered Hughes not to go to bars or liquor establishments.
In cases where I have a GPS monitor available, and that can mitigate some of the danger that anybody's concerned about.
Lover says Hughes is...
Did he just say that a GPS monitor can mitigate some of the danger that people are worried about? Guess what would have mitigated all of the danger that people are worried about? You guessed it.
In cases where I have a GPS monitor available, and that can mitigate some of the danger that anybody's concerned about.
Lover says Hughes is a danger to society, especially to women, and she wants him behind bars.
I'm just happy that we're finally being heard. It's sad that it's taken 5 women in total to be victims before finally being heard.
Lover tells me she moved away from Columbus for her own safety, but she tells me she will be at every hearing she can possibly attend. In Columbus, Lacey Chris, 10 TV.
Wow. Sun Man out here winning. Sun Man out here winning.
Tara Jabor talked with Tiffany's family today and police just hours ago. She joins us live now outside Columbus Police Headquarters. Tara, what did you learn today?
Well, Colin, Tiffany Parrish is one of the 3 victims of this triple homicide. And I spoke to her aunt today, who told me that they are still in shock. They also want answers to who committed this crime.
Tonight, a family is grappling with the loss of their loved one. On Saturday, Columbus police say 3 women were found dead in a home on South Ohio Avenue. One of those women is 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish.
She is one of the biggest hearted people, kindest people. She would give you her shirt off her back.
Kelly Argyle has known Tiffany for over 20 years. She says Tiffany valued family, especially her mother and her 4 children.
It's heartbreaking because the person that did this didn't just hurt Tiffany or Sierra or Dawn. They hurt their families and their friends too.
Columbus police are still investigating the triple homicide. On Tuesday, police confirmed that the triple homicide is connected to the homicide of Daryl Hamrick on Tuesday last week.
I deeply believe this has something to do with Darrell being murdered on Tuesday. And them, I mean, there aren't coincidences. For them to be murdered in his house it's related.
However, police did not clarify how the 2 homicide investigations are linked.
Just so that we know what's accurate information and what's not as information comes in, that we let the public bring that information to us without me, divulging what we know already.
Kelly says Tiffany's life was stolen.
It's hard to believe that she's not going to be with us for Christmases and other holidays and see her kids grow up and have kids of their own and experience being a grandma and everything else that people get to do.
Her family wants answers to who killed the 3 women.
People need to come forward and give the information.
Who do y'all think killed the 3 women, man? Who do y'all think killed the 3 women? We gonna get back to that one, man. That's gonna be one.
Welcome back. Gloucester Township Police say you can't make this stuff up. A porch pirate in a very distinctive hoodie returns to a home, after seeing himself on Ring video posted online.
All right, our Ryan Hughes went to Sicklerville to talk to neighbors about.
A pair of package thieves caught on home security video.
These white boys, man. These gotta be white boys, man.
A pair of package thieves caught on home security video. Police say it shows one quickly swiping an Amazon package from a home's front steps as the other twerks and does a little dance for the camera before running.
Yeah, but look at their pants. Their pants up on their ass. Their pants up on their ass. These are white kids. If he was black, his pants would be right here.
Video. Police say it shows one quickly swiping an Amazon.
Neighbors about.
A pair of package thieves caught on home security video. Police say it shows one quickly swiping an Amazon package from a home's front steps as the other twerks and does a little dance for the camera before running away.
It seemed very, very brazen and like they wanted to be seen and wanted to be put out there for doing that.
Gloucester Township Police say the package containing 4 glasses and baby items was stolen on December 9th inside the Independence Square Townhomes neighborhood in Sicklerville. They say the victim just moved here last month from out of state and posted video of the heist on the Ring Neighbors app to warn people in the neighborhood to be on the lookout.
Not cool, bro. Come on, not cool.
But 2 days later, police tell us the dancing thief returned to the victim's home, apparently upset his moves were posted online.
Yeah, I'm going to give this back, by the way.
And to add insult to injury, one of the thieves returned a third time, placing one of the broken glasses back on the victim's front steps. Police believe they're likely teenagers.
I'm not sure what he was looking to gain out of that, but we did get more video out of it.
I just think it's really sad, especially being around Christmas.
Rob Ruggiero lives across the street and tells CBS News Philadelphia a package with a gift for his girlfriend's mom was recently stolen from his home. It's unclear if the thefts are connected. Police tell us they have increased patrols this holiday season to crack down on porch pirates, and they continue to the.
Just be glad, y'all. This is all y'all got, man. This is all y'all got. Just be happy y'all don't have to worry about sun teens, man. This is fucking annoying and despicable, but at least it's not sun teens, man. Rob, it's enough to make you want to move back around, sun teens, though. Fuck it. I'm gonna go back to Philly. You got to deal with this bullshit. Salute to Mr. Clockwork. He says, hope you and your family have a great Christmas. Everyone else, same to you and yours, but only if you hit the like button for Salute to you, Mr. Clockwork. May your family have a great Christmas, man. And may you have many presents under the Christmas tree, man. Definitely hit the like button, man. Salute to Louis Barrow. He says, as a son man on YouTube, he's from Detroit and did 4 years in Michigan prisons. It talks about his experience. He said glider kings have it rough in prison because some men see them as easy targets. Yeah. But Luigi Mangione may be going to a federal penitentiary. And he may be going somewhere where there are white gangs, where he can, and he's a pretty fit dude. Luigi's a pretty fit guy too. Some men look at, white guys as definitely, but the white gang, the Aryan Nation, they're the biggest killers in penitentiary. If you can get down with them, you can be pretty safe. But yeah, if you go to a state prison or a county prison or somewhere where a prison in the Sun area, yeah, you're gonna probably get tested. Your booty hole's gonna get tested if you're a white guy. Like these guys, these kids, this kid that's twerking, this kid right here, the twerker,
as the other twerks and
yo, he would never be able to live that down ever. He would be a target.
Get more video out of it.
I just think it's really sad, especially being around Christmas.
Rob Ruggiero lives across the street and tells CBS News Philadelphia a package with a gift for his girlfriend's mom was recently stolen from his home. It's unclear if the thefts are connected. Police tell us they have increased patrols this holiday season to crack down on porch pirates, and they continue to deploy bait packages with a GPS tracker inside to help catch thieves.
I don't think anyone deserves to have anything stolen from them, and especially around Christmas is just really unbelievable.
Several neighbors tell me they're now looking to add security cameras to their homes to help deter thieves. If you recognize the two porch pirates in that video, Gloucester Township Police would like to hear from you.
But first, breaking new details on the motive behind a deadly home invasion in Wynwood. Investigators say the suspects targeted the wrong house. This is your News at 5, and we are streaming live on CBS News Philadelphia. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. Investigators say these suspects meant to steal guns from a different house all the way in Bucks County. That house happened to have a similar address to the one they actually went into in Lower Merion Township. CBS Philadelphia's Madeline Wright is joining us live now with these breaking developments and pretty much how this all transpired. Madeline.
Natasha, Yuki, it was a case of mistaken identity. Today, we learned that the suspects worked for a junk removal business. That company sent a group of employees out to give an estimate at a house in Bucks County 2 days before the home invasion. That house happened to have a safe with a large amount of guns in it. According to officials, the suspects intended to steal those guns. But the problem is they went to a similar address in the wrong county.
I was very happy that the arrest happened.
Lower Merion homeowner Stephen Orova is breathing a sigh of relief now that Kelvin Roberts, the second suspect wanted for a deadly home invasion, is in custody. Orova says it was a crime that hit close to home, and we're now learning it was the wrong house.
I think we're all really shaken to our cores because I've lived here over 20 years, and we haven't had anything even remotely like this.
Officials say on December 8th, Roberts and his boss, Charles Fulforth, broke into a house on Meredith Road, shot 2 people inside, and robbed them of a jewelry box and car. Officials say Andrew Gaudio was killed, and his mother, Bernadette Gaudio, remains paralyzed from her injuries.
The motive in this case was to steal guns, and they simply got the wrong house. They went into the wrong house with bad intentions and shot an innocent 61-year-old woman as she lay in her bed, and they executed her 25-year-old son.
Officials say police arrested Roberts when he showed up at his former place of employment, Junk Luggers, in Willow Grove Tuesday morning. An employee who recognized him called police, but witnesses say the suspect took off when officers arrived.
We have train tracks in the back. So he ran down the train tracks and I guess hid in the woods. Canine and the police ran down the tracks with the canine dog, and I guess they got him right off the side of the tracks.
The suspects are charged with murder, attempted murder, robbery, and other crimes. People in the neighborhood are struggling to make sense of the tragedy that changed a family forever.
The community is really standing behind and trying to help as much as we can.
Officials say the suspect arrested this morning was planning to flee to Jamaica to avoid the consequences of this crime. He and the other suspect are now locked up, facing the possibility of life in prison if convicted. And officials say more arrests could be coming. Live in Norristown, Madeline.
Police say this case of mistaken identity centers around where the two suspects in this case work. They work for a Willow Grove company called Junk Luggers. They go into people's homes and they clear out unwanted goods that they don't want. And in this case, police say they were in a house in Bucks County, and that's where they say these two suspects zeroed in on a possible target, a place for them to burglarize. Only investigators say they went to the wrong house in the wrong town.
To be honest with you, I was shocked that he came back to work.
And when Kelvin Roberts returned to the Willow Grove Junk Luggers where he worked, police say someone on the inside tipped them off. And this business, the DA says, is key to understanding why Kelvin Roberts and Charles Fulforth broke into a Meredith Road home in Lower Merion last Sunday morning.
The motive in this case was to steal guns.
But police say this was the wrong house. They say on December 6th, a Junk Luggers employee did an estimate on a Bucks County home.
and took pictures inside the house for a possible clean out. They say Full Force saw those pictures and the potential to steal guns. So they hatched a plan, the DA says, but he also says they got it wrong, going to Lower Merion over Bucks County.
It was simple.
That's some kind of glider, man. I don't care, man. I know he has the shaped head of a sun, man. But there's the nostrils and everything. But there's a lot of glider in here, man. This is a Melungeon, man. This is a Melungeon. We got to share this one, man. That's a Melungeon right there, man. Yeah, that's a Melungeon, man. He got a lot of glider in him, man. You can see up his nose. And he got that head shape right there. This head shape is a sun man thing, but still the 120-degree head shape, but still at the same time, man, there's a lot of glider up in there, man. Plus he was the boss too, man. He saw this safe and was like, yo, we gotta go rob him. Come on, Negro. Let's go throw our lives away.
Sunday morning.
The motive in this case was to steal guns.
But police say this was the wrong house. They say on December 6th, a junk luggers employee did an estimate on a Bucks County home and took pictures inside the house for a possible clean out. They say Full Force saw those pictures and the potential to steal guns. So they hatched a plan, the DA says, but he also says they got it wrong, going to Lower Merion over Bucks County.
It was simply the wrong house.
According to court documents, Full Force told police it wasn't supposed to end this way. The DA says the men did plan to do harm.
They go into this house. They go in with bad intentions. They have zip ties. They have guns. 61-year-old woman is laying in her bed, and they come in and they shoot her. And then they shoot and kill her 25-year-old son, Andrew.
There is more.
I mean, this is horrible, but that was kind of funny. It wasn't supposed to end this way.
Yeah, man. Like,
see, that was his, you know, the high and bright side of his Melungeonite DNA, with the capability of forethought and envisioning outcomes and that kind of thing. The other dude is just like, well,
that one dude went back to work. Your boss is in prison. The boss got arrested first, like last week or something. And this fool went back. This is the boss. He got arrested last week. And this Negro was been on a run the whole time. He went back to work and got arrested at work. Jeez.
They come in and they shoot her. And then they shoot and kill her 25-year-old son, Andrew.
There is more. Police fear others could be victimized or have been in the past and are calling on any customers of this removal service to call them, and quickly.
What we need to know now is whether there are other folks in the area.
That's one evil-looking Melungeon, I'll give you that.
Yeah, for sure. That sign. My bad. I was just saying that sign is like, there's a car dealer around here, and they're called Biggers, and they have like bumper stickers and stuff, and it just rings the same bells that one rings.
Junk luggers. Them double G's, man. You gotta always watch out for the double G's.
Do a double take, yeah.
Oh man!
And then you got these two running the show at Junk Luggers. Two goddamn luggers over here.
Well, there's a new warning tonight in Bensalem from police after Philadelphia carjacking suspects were arrested in Bucks County.
They say advances in technology are
Wickets
helping the fight against car thefts and other crimes. NBC 10's Deanna Durante joins us live in Bensalem tonight with the details. Deanna?
Well, it is cases like these police say should be an awakening to those who want to go around stealing cars or just drive them around. They say plate readers can pick up when you enter the township and where you go once you're here.
Where we've come in the last 10 years with technology is amazing for law enforcement.
You may not see them, but they're watching you. More than 24 plate readers all over Bensalem Township. And on December 11th,
the vehicle that was carjacked in Philadelphia the previous night just entered the township off of 95 on the street road. All the officers get an alert.
The alert went off in every patrol car and police headquarters.
The fact that our officers can now get notified on their smartphone or their computer in the vehicle, really, it's a game changer.
Public Safety Director William McVeigh says the readers don't just pick up when a wanted vehicle enters the township. They track them.
It's like following the breadcrumbs.
So police moved in.
When the officer tried to stop that vehicle, it took off at a high rate of speed. They went behind a apartment complex where it dead end into about 5 other police cars that were coming into the area.
The folks in the car jumped out and took off, but since officers knew where that car was heading, police had already set up and were waiting.
All 3 that fled out the driver's side were eventually captured. The driver was a 16-year-old male from Philadelphia who had a ghost gun fully loaded.
Ammo and other guns were found as well, all suspects.
And no one was killed. No Sun Man was killed in the making of this video. And think about how often this happens and no Sun Man is killed. It's a miracle. The police in this country deserve, like, they should be praised.
They definitely shouldn't be praised for being racist. They suck at that.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to Deluxe. Think about this. No Sun Man was harmed. Salute to Daddy, man. Daddy said, Sun Man, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Run, usually.
Yeah, exactly. Run with a fucking fully loaded ghost gun on you, get apprehended, and don't get shot.
If it were for Sunmen, Cops would have been a much more boring show. I just got to say that much.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Sunmen, you wouldn't have as many cops or homicide detectives.
I mean, there were plenty of ratchet gliders on there, but...
I mean, cops might not even need guns if it wasn't for the buttons.
Right.
Be like the British.
Show with your badge and shit. Just flash your badge and shit.
All right, let's be having you.
Right. Don't move, and they comply like without a gun. Now, some men won't comply with a gun pointed at them. Put that in your pipe. Smoke.
A ghost gun fully loaded.
Ammo and other guns were found as well. All suspects arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including fleeing police. Getting ahead of these traffic stops, police say, can make sure that everyone walks away safely, which is their goal. Also preventing crimes. They say that while they have more than 24 readers now in Bensalem Township, they are looking to add more. Reporting live in Bensalem, Deanna Durante, NBC 10.
The family of Eric Harrison is suing Macy's. Their son was a security guard who was stabbed to death last year by a man who walked into the Center City store with a knife.
In a civil complaint filed today, the family alleges that their son's death was foreseeable and preventable, especially given the current retail.
We did this story last year. So the family saying that the death of their security guard son was foreseeable and preventable. Let's see.
Theft problem plaguing the city.
It shows his bravery. It shows that he was a hero, and his legacy still lives.
The parents of Eric Harrison proudly showing this posthumous Medal of Honor awarded by Philly's police commissioner last week.
Knowing that they could have prevented it, I can't sleep at night. So something has to be done.
Something surrounding the city's retail theft problem.
Retail theft is not a victimless crime. We know that firsthand.
In a civil complaint filed against Macy's Retail Holdings Incorporated, Harrison's family outlines the current state of retail theft in the city of Philadelphia, pointing to the district attorney's policy on theft under $500. They allege it's led to a surge in shoplifting and violent crimes, especially in Center City and at stores like Macy's on Market Street.
People were coming into the store with knives. They were coming into the store with machetes. They were coming into the store with guns.
After thousands of thefts and escalating violence, they say employees pleaded for increased security measures like stab-resistant gear, but that the store and its parent company failed to act, prioritizing.
You get some Kevlar vests too while you're at it.
Since you're
this problem will only get worse.
if you're not gonna prosecute anybody for stealing something under $500, at least give us a stab-proof vest.
Think about it though. They said it was predictable. Yeah, any security guard in the stand is predictable that they could possibly get hurt.
I wonder if they can predict anything about the criminals.
Well, we can tell by the coverage it wasn't a white guy.
Escalating violence, they say employees pleaded for increased security measures like stab-resistant gear, but that the store and its parent company failed to act, prioritizing a, quote, welcoming image over safety.
They were told, well, nobody's been stabbed yet.
But then their son was stabbed and killed in a death they say was senseless and preventable. What happened in the year following, adding to their pain.
It's like the stab just keeps going on and on, the way they treated this whole incident.
Macy's tells NBC 10 that they remain heartbroken about the tragedy and don't have any additional comments as the litigation is pending. Harrison's parents say they haven't heard from the retail company.
So what happened was, because I did this story last year, he told the son man to leave, and the son man went and got a knife and came back and stabbed him to death on the sales floor. Yeah, so that was predictable. Very predictable.
Yeah. Tell the son man to leave, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, you don't do that,
Come back
man.
with a knife too. That's odd. Most times, son man just comes back with some witch.
I think he bought it at a store locally. Like it was like a crime of passion. Like he didn't have the knife. He just went and got the first thing he get his hands with and killed because the guy put him out. So he was just so mad that I think he may have gotten a gun if he would have been a little bit more composed. But he was just like, yo, let me just go ahead and go to like Safeway and buy a fucking kitchen knife and come kill this nigga.
Yeah.
Tonight, friends and family are remembering a security guard killed in a tragic crash in the East Bay. The man was sitting in a guard station when a teen plowed a truck into it, killing him and seriously injuring his coworker. Crown 4's Lindsay Ford joins us in studio after speaking with the people close to him. Lindsay.
Yeah, Dan, Renee Baccaro's family is devastated, and they're in a state of shock. They say they still can't believe what happened.
The way he passed away is so unfair.
It's a huge loss. You don't expect to hear something like this.
An unexpected loss, says family and friends of 62-year-old Renee Baccaro from Oakley, the beloved security guard who was killed Friday night while working at the Lakes, a gated community in Discovery Bay.
It was tough for me to watch the video.
A gated community.
Friday's video showing the car that pummeled into the
Wonder why they were coming out of a gated community at high speed recklessly.
Look like they're going in. Oh, are they coming out or going in? I don't know. Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, how can you tell right there? But
no, I would say going out probably because
I'm thinking going out.
Yeah.
In Discovery Bay.
It was tough for me to watch the video.
Friday's video showing the car that pummeled into the security building, killing Baccaro on impact and injuring another security guard.
He was one of those guys that would give the shirt off of his back.
Sampson has known Baccaro since he was a baby. They took this picture together back in May.
That was the last time that I saw him. That was the last picture that I took with him. And not knowing that that would be the last picture.
Diana Oates calls herself Baccaro's spiritual mother. She took him in after he moved from El Salvador to LA in his early 20s.
Renee was a very kind-hearted young man.
Well, that's kind of like Wicked's story, man. Taken in by some people, man.
Hey, what did Nick Cannon say? Some people are the most compassionate or something.
Yeah, definitely.
We found one.
Early 20s.
Direct proportion to
Renee
compassion.
was a very kind-hearted young man, looking for love, family love. But he was a good son. He was a good brother. He was a good friend. And that I love him.
Baccaro's family and friends are in mourning, but feel blessed to have had Renee in their lives.
When you ask about Spanish folks, we are helpers. We seem like we were born to help, to assist. And he did that 100%, not only with us as family, but whoever he came in contact with.
The family is currently working on funeral plans for Vaccaro and now focusing on family time and healing.
And I just want the world to know.
Now, he had a beautiful family, man. Jabbarge and shit, man. Salute, man.
Reach out, forgive, forget, and move on, because the only thing that matters in life is family. That's it.
And police are still investigating what caused the deadly crash, but they do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor. The minor who was driving the car that killed Vaccaro suffered minor injuries in the crash and currently faces charges of vehicular manslaughter. And
of course, he's minor charges. I'm surprised you had even got a scratch on him.
And surely that was his car.
You ever seen the movie Dances with Wolves? Dances with Sons?
That movie would be a lot shorter.
Yeah, you seen the movie Dances with Wolves, right? He was raised by wolves or some shit.
I
Dances
remember
with
that
Sons.
movie. I saw that movie in the theater, man. Kevin Costner, man. Yeah, that was a good movie, man. He was a Civil War soldier, and he went out into the fucking West and got into it with some Indians and all this shit. Let's see. Let's see. I'm about to drop that video later. Let's see. Whew, man, it's rough out here, man. These streets, man.
The number of school employees being assaulted on the job is rising in Texas.
More than 2,600 assaults on educators were reported last.
And listen, they dissuade these teachers to report that stuff, man. Salute to Andy Armour. He says, Merry Christmas, Ock and Ock Nation. Hope you all have a great 2025, man. Salute to you, Andy Armour, man. Hope you have a great 2025 as well, man. What in the world TV says it's hard to send a super chat? No, it ain't. This you the 15th one. No, you the 15th one today, man. It ain't hard. You the 15th one. Here goes 16 right here, man. It ain't hard to send no super chat, but thank you, man, for your super chat. What in the world TV? Mark Warren says he became a member. Salute, man. But yeah, man, this number right here, you got to at least double or triple that number, because they literally do everything they can to tell the teachers don't report it unless it's really bad. And if it's really bad, and if they report it, many times they will reclassify it because they don't want the kids to look bad.
The number of school employees being assaulted on the job is rising in Texas.
More than 2,600 assaults on educators were reported last school year, according to new data from the Texas Education Agency. KXAN investigator Kelly Wiley is tracking what happens after teachers are hurt in the classroom.
When Tiffany Robinson began teaching in Texas, she never imagined she'd be writing this letter 18 years later.
Gerald ISD trustees, I am writing to formally resign from my position as chemistry teacher at Gerald High School effective immediately. Just a lot of disappointment. You just get worn down.
The last straw, she says, was on a pep rally day at Gerald High School, when she says a rowdy group of students eager to leave class got in her face.
Cussing me and telling me, F you, you're going to make me late to my next class. And they were getting up out of their chairs and coming forward, and it was getting ready to get out of control.
By the time the bell finally rang, Robinson decided this would be the end of her near 2-decade teaching career.
I was crying, went to the associate principal, and I told her, I said, I'm done. I'm resigning. I'm not doing this. I'm not taking this anymore.
Gerald ISD officials told us they work hard with campus police and administrators to build an environment where teachers can perform their duties without fear, harassment, or violence. They also said schools need additional funding for security initiatives and mental health resources.
So they need more security. So they talking about RSO officers, the peace officers. They talking about a cop. So then here's the thing. So now you got a fucking cop in the school with a bunch of fucking sun teens and shit, and some fucking hombredo kids and shit.
maybe.
Okay, the first time. What'd you say?
I'll say maybe they could put. You know how in jails they have like the barrier around the desk. They could put like a wall with like a bulletproof glass just to keep the teachers safe from these babies.
Yeah, this is a no-win situation, man. You bring a cop into that school, he's gonna inevitably get into some shit with some son sister or some son teen, and that shit somebody gonna record it on their cell phone, and that shit gonna go viral, and we have fucking people marching in the streets.
Sources. The incident in Robinson's classroom stopped short of any physical assault, but new data from the Texas Education Agency shows the number of assaults perpetrated by students against school staff statewide rose 18% last school year compared to the year before.
It's definitely increased, probably for several factors.
Zeph Capo is the president of the Texas chapter of the American.
It wouldn't be all those people from California and Chicago flooding into Texas. Have you heard about that, Wiki? All the people from Chicago moving down to Texas.
Yeah, I mean, when I came out here with you initially, remember that one son from Arizona?
Yeah.
I hope he's if you're listening, brother.
Sterling, I think Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling, but he's an example.
Yeah, or Spencer. It was Spencer or Sterling. It was one of them. But yeah, salute
Chicago, by way of Chicago.
Yeah, but it's a lot of people from liberal areas that are flooding into Texas.
Federation of Teachers, an organization representing more than 65,000 educators.
The lack of behavioral supports, the lack of mental health services that we've seen in the state of Texas. None of
the lack of a bunch of shit you didn't need when it was fucking mostly white people.
Our mental health providers, whether it's counselors, social workers, psychologists, meet the recommended student to professional.
A bunch of shit that in their homogeneous countries they don't have. Go to fucking Africa and go to a school in Africa, see if they got all this shit.
Yeah, of course not.
White people are crazy.
We need gliders to have that.
Yeah. Do you remember the one elementary school where they had metal detectors?
Yeah. Elementary school.
Dangerous.
Behavioral supports, the lack of mental health services that we've seen in the state of Texas. None of our mental health providers, whether it's counselors, social workers, psychologists, meet the recommended student to professional ratios in the state of Texas.
Under Texas law, teachers who are assaulted at school can request what's called assault leave, paid days to recover from physical injuries that can't be deducted.
Yo, what? The fuck?
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Wow.
Enabling like a motherfucker. So if I take my assault leave, this is my third time getting hit in the head.
Jesus Christ. Things you need when sun turds come around for 100, Alex.
We need some student teacher violence interrupters here.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Nah, the gliders truly know. The gliders know what sons need. That's why they're demonized so bad.
What about German Shepherds, Zach?
Yeah, if one of the black kids gets barked at too loud, man, there's gonna be a fucking march in front of the school. Salute to Stephanie McCoy, man. I think Stephanie's still single, man. I think she said she's still single, man. Shout out to Stephanie McCoy, man. Hey, a panel. It's almost Christmas for my favorite son, man. Yeah, man. Salute to you, Stephanie McCoy in the building, man.
Man, I wish I was a son, man.
Yeah, you might have a chance with Stephanie. Stephanie says she like it. She down with the brown, man.
That's awesome.
Wicked knows damn well that he lying.
Yeah, you might get like a Christmas miracle and wake up a son man.
Like tall guys.
That's fucked up.
Wow. Man, shots fired.
Salute to you, Stephanie, man.
Teachers who are assaulted at school can request what's called assault leave, paid days to recover from physical injuries that can't be deducted from the employee's personal accrued leave. The law says districts must immediately approve assault leave once it's requested. But our analysis of district policies found if a district later determines an incident didn't meet the criteria, the district can retroactively deny the request.
So if you get bonked upside your head, and then later on they come back and some fucking bureaucrat says, you know what, we got too many assaults at this school, and 90% of them are black kids, and it's not looking good. The data is looking kind of racist. It looks like the teachers are targeting the black kids, and not enough white kids are being charged with assault. So we're going to go ahead and waive all these assaults until we get it closer. Now they're going to take your fucking assault leave.
It's fucked up, man. Trying to take a God-given right to assault leave.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, you gotta lose an eye like that one principal.
Leave.
Yeah, lose an eye, man. You get a week off, man.
The law says districts must immediately approve assault leave once it's requested. But our analysis of district policies found if a district later determines an incident didn't meet the criteria, the district can retroactively deny the request.
If something doesn't rise to the level where it gets approved, for example, by a workers' comp doctor, then a teacher may actually lose their own personal leave to heal from an assault. Not every assault results in a teacher being hospitalized or needing, leave to heal.
Yeah, of course. These are the kids that assault the teachers.
Yeah.
They always do that.
The gaslighting, man.
These the mass shooters, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, one day they'll
from
shoot
an assault. Not every assault results in a teacher being hospitalized or needing, acute medical care follow-up. But, sometimes you don't want to go back in the classroom the next day.
KXAN analyzed data from Central Texas school districts between 2018 and last school year. Among the 29 Central Texas districts that responded to our survey, district officials reported at least 340 assaults on employees in that time frame. But those districts received far fewer assault leave requests and approved just 46 requests collectively. Robinson says she hadn't planned on retiring for several more years. But at 56, she's starting a new chapter and a new career in real estate.
I don't want to go back. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. The problems have gotten worse through the years.
The problems have gotten worse through the years. Oh my dog whistle, man.
Yeah.
Salute to Barry B, man. Shout out to Barry B in the building. Salute to Francis, man. Francis says, love to you and Ock Nation. Shout out to you, man. Go ahead.
Do you think she realizes the connection?
I bet you she
does.
I think she may.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go ahead, man.
Well, I often wonder how afraid she truly is to speak her mind. Man,
I think so. I think
terrified.
there's something going on behind here. Her voice, her thin lipped, her lips are very tightly pressed against her teeth right now. She's nervous and tense about this interview.
I feel bad for her.
When she said the problems have gotten worse throughout the years, even that can get you in trouble as a white person, especially a professional white person. What do you mean worse throughout the years? So it's like, for her to say that, I think she knows.
You're lucky the sisters ain't heard her.
But at 56, she's starting a new chapter and a new career in real estate.
I don't want to go back. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. The problems have gotten worse through the years, and I don't see it getting better.
So far for this upcoming legislative session that
she don't see it getting better.
Starts in January.
Man, sometimes I feel bad for the Gladys.
You feel bad for what?
Sometimes I feel bad for the Gladys, man.
I used to, but they kind of listen, you say that right around some gliders, right, as an hombrito, they're going to tell you hate yourself. and they're gonna tell you, they're gonna call you, they're gonna tell you, tell them, gliders, you voted for Trump.
Not me, Wicked. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Fuck them gliders, man. They brought this shit on themselves, man. They just lucky they got Trump. If they didn't have Trump, this would be fucking Europe, man. Trump saved white people. This would be Europe.
Maybe
Hey,
worse,
Trump
right?
saved them for real. He saved us all.
Yeah.
He really did.
That's a strong word, though. Save. That's a strong word.
Yeah, for now.
Bills to address
right
assaults on educators. There hasn't been any significant legislation on this issue since 2019, when lawmakers added harassment to the list of behaviors for which a student must be removed from the classroom. In Austin, Kelly Wiley.
Oh, wow. So they just added harassment as a reason you can remove a kid from the classroom. So that means prior to this, you couldn't remove a kid from the classroom if he was harassing you. Wow.
I'm sure they still can't.
I like the idea of a federally mandated get assaulted by a son man leave, though. I think that, that'd be good for the country.
Oh man, we got a sister. Oh god, let me see something. Let me see what else we got going on here. Oh, okay, we got sisters in trouble.
Well, still more questions than answers concerning the resignation of the first woman to lead the Norristown Police Department. Jacqueline Bailey Davis was appointed as Norristown's police chief last December, but has since stepped down. And
she only made it a year.
One is saying why. Action News reporter Caroline Goggin, live from Norristown with an update tonight. Caroline.
Rick, it was almost exactly a year ago that Dr. Jacqueline Bailey Davis was appointed as the chief of police here in Norristown, and tonight she is now officially off the job.
Request from Municipal Council to accept the resignation of Dr. Jacqueline Bailey Davis as Chief of Police.
Leaders in Norristown are searching for a new police chief.
The ayes have it. Resolution passes.
Tonight, members of the Municipal Council voted to accept the resignation of Chief Jacqueline Bailey Davis.
We wanted to do this amicably. We were just waiting. I know she was making a decision on what she wanted to do.
In late November, after being offered a severance package, Bailey Davis was placed on paid administrative leave.
That's your fucking police chief, your top cop. Take me to your top cop.
Not as bad as the one in New Orleans right now.
Jesus Christ.
Granny Smith in New Orleans. You know her?
The
Wait,
white lady? Yeah.
You're not surprised, are you?
I mean, she literally looks like a fucking daycare. Like she should be working at a daycare somewhere, not fucking being the top police officer in a fucking fucking goddamn gangster's paradise and shit.
Due to what officials called a personnel issue. Norristown leaders have declined to answer our questions about what factored into the decision. But they say over the past couple weeks, Bailey Davis made the choice to resign, to the disappointment of some community members.
I lament that we have lost who I believe was a chosen vessel, a beacon of hope, an angel of mercy, so to say, who was willing to.
She was a what? What was she, man?
Huh?
I lament that we have lost a chief who I believe was a chosen vessel, a beacon of hope, an angel of mercy, so to say, who was willing to work in ways that could truly have been transformative to our community.
Bailey Davis was
I think she just stole a bunch of shit, though, actually. Chosen vessel, to grift some shit.
Native and a former staff inspector for Philadelphia Police, she made history as the first woman to lead the department in Norristown. She was the third person to act as Norristown's police chief in a 3-year period. Leaders say the police department needs stability. That's something they're looking for as they search for a new leader.
Someone that's going to look at the future of what policing looks like in the future of Norristown. We need someone that's going to come in that has a plan for secession. We're going to take our time and select the appropriate candidate for Norristown.
White men need not apply, man.
Leaders here in Norristown tell us tonight they will post that position of police chief at some point this week. They hope to have that job posted for about 30 days. As for Bailey Davis, I did reach out to her today for comment on this situation and on her resignation. I've yet to hear back. We're live tonight in Norristown. I'm Caroline Goggin, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
Caroline, thank you.
Where could they find stability? I wonder.
Stability. What group of people have provided this country with the most? I don't know, man. I think they're gonna go in the same direction that they've gone in the past.
At
6 after a week and a half of searching, a family finally found their loved one, but it was too late.
Yes, sadly, Corey Moore, a 49-year-old car detailer, was found deceased in a hotel in Somerville. Family says it's where he was last seen 10 days ago. Our Fallon Mears spoke with his family today about their search for answers.
Corey Moore was on a work trip staying at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. He was last seen around 11:30 p.m. on December 7th. Because of his work, he traveled throughout different cities, staying in many different places. But that never kept him from his friends or family.
Because he has so many contacts, so many friends, and it's people reaching out to me that I have no clue who they are, but they are expressing their love and concern, and condolences. So, and when I tell you, he had no enemies. He had no enemies. So, and I understood and understand he had, health issues, but just how he was found, how long he was there, is just a mystery for us.
Missing posters are made and are posted throughout groups on Facebook. The Dorchester County Sheriff's Office was contacted. Only the case had to be transferred to...
Oh, he was found deceased in this hotel room. Okay, so he probably had passed.
All those decades was gone. Just like that.
Tonight at 11, he spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a murder he did not commit. And now...
Oh, Lord.
All those decades was gone. Just like that.
Tonight at 11, he spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a murder he did not commit. And now this Brooklyn native who was exonerated back in 2020 is still adjusting to life outside prison.
New York State has had the third highest number of exonerations in the country. Jennifer Bisram takes a look.
All that means is that they got the third wokest district attorneys.
At what life is like after finally being freed. Why'd you buy this house?
I buy it because the trees over there, it makes me think of freedom.
210 miles away from his New Jersey home at Auburn Correctional Facility in New York is where Gerard DeMond spent most of his adult life as inmate 89A8836, with many sleepless nights on hard jail beds, surrounded by prison guards and violence.
Jump in there, wow.
Now at age 62, he's finally living outside of prison walls in a house with his family, including his 2-year-old daughter, Layla.
Oh, wow. Wow. That man came home.
Ain't wasting no time.
Came home, got a house in the suburbs.
Hold up. I thought he was having a hard time adjusting. Man's got a house, got a 2-year-old daughter. Little wife.
Got him a young. She looked like she probably 38. She ain't no older than 40. No,
yeah, he's
no
having
older than
a
40.
real tough time.
He got a chain.
Let's find out how totally innocent he is.
Right. The fact that he didn't do anything.
Including his 2-year-old daughter, Layla.
What happened? You want more?
No more.
No more. Okay. Good girl. It's like time stopped at 23 and I continue all this. So now I'm back out here. It's like try to play catch up with a lot of what I missed out on. Yes, I grew up in jail literally. All those decades was gone just like that.
He was convicted for a 1987 murder in Brooklyn. In 2020, he was exonerated by the Brooklyn DA's office.
1987 murder in Brooklyn.
After they say key information was withheld.
Key information withheld. But did he do it? Because you could do it and key information could not have been withheld. Just like for instance, you go to a liquor store and you shoot the clerk, right? And there's 10 stores in the same strip mall. They fucking go canvass the area and interview people at 9 of the stores. There's one store that, nobody wants to talk. 5 years later, somebody wants to talk. So during one of your appeals, one of your fucking 30 appeals, because you've been in there for what, 30 years? They didn't interview that one guy at the one store that finally wanted to talk 5 years later. That's information being withheld. You know that, right?
Yeah, he's totally innocent now.
Because you have to, because the onus is on the state.
Was gone just like that.
He was convicted for a 1987 murder in Brooklyn. In 2020, he was exonerated by the Brooklyn DA's office after they say key information was withheld from the case.
When this murder happened, you weren't even in New York City?
No, at all. I was not in New York City at all.
Where were you?
In Dannelsonville, Georgia, with my girlfriend at the time.
What was going through your mind?
This can't be happening to me. Why am I going to prison for something I didn't do? And I was like, damn, how many other people probably going through this? How many, black men from my hood?
According to the National Register.
How many black men from my hood are going? I was with him until he said that, because he knows in Brooklyn people brag about killing. Killing is like a currency. So why would he say how many black men?
You didn't do it. It was some black man in your hood who did. So
yeah, right. Like that. I was kind of with him because until he said that. He said too much.
And I was like, damn, how many other people probably going through this?
Going through your mind?
This can't be happening to me. Why am I going to prison for something I didn't do? And I was like, damn, how many other people probably going through this? How many, black men from my hood?
According to the National Registry of Exonerations, New York has had 347 exonerations since 1989, 157 alone here in New York City.
What was the evidence that put him? What were the evidence that got him convicted? They're probably not going to tell us that.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Because the evidence, what they're basically telling us is the fact that they know he did this murder in Brooklyn was because he was in Georgia at the time. He's black. So all you gotta do is this murder was committed in Brooklyn. Let's go to Georgia and find some black guy and put it on him. Done. That's what they're basically saying. So what really happened, man?
147 exonerations since 1989, 157 alone here in New York City between 2014 and 2022. Brooklyn, where DeMond is from, has had the most in New York City, 40, since its conviction review unit was created in 2014. Most of the exonerations are of black men.
It's a struggle. Life is a struggle.
Most of the murders there were committed by black men. They don't tell you that.
Gaslighting them. Yeah, no shit.
They'll tell you that, like in Brooklyn, what? How many? What's the percentage of the murders in Brooklyn? Not the Bronx, where you got a lot of Puerto Ricans here, but in Brooklyn, what percentage of the murders in Brooklyn are committed by black men? Gotta be
in New York City. In New York City,
95%. Gotta be 95% or more.
Brooklyn, where DeMond is from, has had the most in New York City, 40, since its conviction review unit was created in 2014. Most of the exonerations are of black men.
It's a struggle. Life is a struggle for me even now.
DeMond sued the city and was awarded over $13 million. But he says no amount of money can bring back all the years.
13 million. Hey, man. Salute, man.
Of his life lost and take away the nightmares and emotional trauma.
Money doesn't kill you. Money don't do nothing for you for the soul.
So let's say he was a street guy, right? Because they're not telling us what he was up to. And they're not telling us any of the facts of the case, which is just odd as fuck, right? But let's just say he was a street guy, right? From 1987 till now. That's what? No, till 2020. So that would be 33 years, right? Damn. Could he have made $13 million in that 33 years, being like a low-level drug dealer in and out of jail, maybe having odd jobs here and there? I don't think he could have made $13 million in that 33 years.
Check this out, if this is correct, I hope this is according to the NOPD year-end 2023 enforcement report. Blacks make up 57% of all suspects and 61% of all arrestees for murder and non-negligent manslaughter charges.
In New Orleans?
In New York. This
Oh,
is
in
the
New York.
2023 report by the NOPD. So, like, you know, that's obviously most current information. But as it stands right now, it is over half for both murder
I
and
don't believe that. There's no way. Like it's got to be more than that, yeah.
That's what the data I'm finding with them is. There's
That's FBI data.
No, that's NOPD data.
You said NONY. PD. What PD you saying?
New York.
NYPD. NYPD. Oh,
Sorry.
NYPD. Okay. So that means that, but like almost, what percentage of the homicide victims are black?
57.1%, it says.
Of the victims?
Yeah, victims, 57.1. Suspect, 57%. Arrested for murder or non-negligent, 61.2%. So the other major component there is Hispanics make up 31% of the victims, 36% of the suspects, and 29% of the arrests.
Okay, so Hispanics are there. Okay, what about whites? You got Luigi Mangione out there raising hell.
7% of the victims, 3.5% of the suspects, and 3.3% of the arrests.
Take the shackle off, but you're still incarcerated because the pain, the scars, is never removed, regardless.
4 years later, he still doesn't feel free.
I'm having a difficult time coping with things because, you know, sometimes I act like I'm still locked up. You know, sometimes when I'm making reference to going upstairs, I say I'm going to my cell.
He says each one of his over 10,000 days in jail was a struggle.
No, I wanted somebody to kill me. Yeah, I really did, because I didn't think I could do all that time.
And every day now.
Wow. He said, I wanted somebody to kill me. So I didn't think I could do all that time. I believe that. I mean, like in upstate New York, in New York Penitentiary, there's gangs, Bloods, Crips, Nietas, Latin Kings. It's tough, man.
It's a struggle.
No, I wanted somebody to kill me. Yeah, I really did, because I didn't think I could do all that time.
And every day now is a mental fight.
Still got it. I was frightened to come home, put it like that.
Why?
Because this is a new world. It's like I was comfortable for some reason. I knew what I had to do in there. For the most part, I'm lost out here, you know.
On this fall day, Demond shares that his family and building cars help him to heal.
I'm going to therapy, but I have no peace. Money, everything, I have that, but it's still a burden. I'm searching for something. I don't know what it is. Part of me is in there.
But he says just like he never gave up on his innocence, he will not give up on feeling free. Jennifer Bisram.
That's a nice, look at them legs, man, on that young girl, man.
He's having a fucking rough time, man.
He's living.
America's hell on some people. You saw that shithole that he lived into? That awful house?
I'm telling you, man. Wow. Listen, salute to this son, man. Listen, like I say this, I'll say this. I'll end it on this. Whatever he did 33 years in prison. We see on this show every day so many son men do egregious shit and don't even get 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking on the street for 4 years before they fucking get sentenced and shit. So this dude did 33 years. So whatever he did, he probably did more time than he would have gotten.
He did a significant sentence. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you brought that into perspective, Bob, because I didn't really even think about it. But
yeah, he did a man's sentence in a man's penitentiary. So like all's forgiven, son, man. Enjoy your young bride, man, and your watch and your chain, and ball out, man. But just save some money, man, because once the money goes, she might be going too.
Yo, am I the only one? The only one shocked by it being in the 50s only, as far as like son victims? I thought it'd be higher. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, New York. Is he talking about New York State or New York? Or is he talking about New York City? I really.
This is
but
New
you know
York
what?
City, apparently. So,
but Wicked, you also got to remember what is a Latino in New York is not the same thing that's a Latino in Chicago.
Dominicans and shit, right?
You
Yeah,
talking about
but
I
even
could
with
be
that,
Latino. I could be Latino in New York if I speak Spanish.
but even with that said, though, it's still kind of low. I'm surprised myself.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. Though. I agree. I agree 100%.
Here's some bonus facts. So, any crime where victim is struck by a bullet, blacks make up 65% of the victims, 65% of the suspects, and 65% of the arrestees in New York City.
Wow. That's still low. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's very low, man. But yeah, man, salute, man. Tonight, man, come back with something, man. Whatever happened, we're gonna come back with something, man. I don't know what the show will be about
Yo,
tonight,
real quick, man. You were gone for a little bit, right? But
yeah.
but we all know the sun man don't take no days off, right? Like, real quick, there was a story here that fucking threw me off, right? So a grandfather is taking his grandkid to school 8:30 in the morning. Fender gets out to exchange information with the other driver. Son man jumps out, shoots 6 times, hits an 11-year-old kid in the car. And in the area where that happened at, victims could have been a brother or son, but the offender was a son, man. Think about that story. Yeah, fender bender, grandfather gets out, the son man opens fire. America.
I'm telling you, man. If you can find that, you can send it to me. We'll cover it tonight, man. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here. Peace out.
Peace.